Hey guys, August here, coming some more Last Ark. Today I'm talk to you guys about Ignition Sorceress. I'm going to show you guys my build on Ignition Sorc and just everything there is to know about Sorc really, and all that I know about Sorc I will show you guys and talk to you guys about that. So if you're interested in playing a Sorc, or you actually are playing a Sorc and just looking for a better build. So right before we do that, I do want to reference a MaxRoll guide that I use as well for my Sorc build. So I pretty much follow this build with a little bit of change for my personal preference. But this is, if you follow this completely, this will be fine in itself. This is a full Ignition Sorc build. Shows you your whatever you want to go for stats, your engravings, skills with whatever skill tripods you want to use. If you move this around, you can actually show the different points up there. That's what level, how many skill points you have to spend. So depending on how many skill points you have, you'd actually move this around. So that's really handy over there. And I'll also explain to you a little bit about each and every skill. Also skill rotation, stat priority, engravings. This is what I like to use it for the most, is actually the engraving parts, and then the gear sets and the ruins as well. You go all the way down and show you gear, skill tree, and tripods that you want to try and build up. You want to get those. So that skill, you want these tripods. Has the gems as well. Attack gems being the gems that give you damage percent. Cooldown with cooldown gems, obviously. Card set, all that stuff. But yeah, I'll leave this linked in the description for you guys if you want to go have a read through that. Really informative. It's actually what I base my Sorc build off. I'll leave that there for you guys in the description. So anyway, let's hop straight into it. First thing let's talk about is actually your combat stats. Now your combat stats, you want to go full specialization, because as an Ignition Sorc, spec actually makes your rupture bar build up faster, and you want to be getting into that as often as possible, since that's where you will be doing most of your damage. And the next one, you want to actually get 450 into swiftness. So how this works on accessories, you get your combat stats over here. Each accessory has one combat stat, with your necklace being the exception. It actually has two combat stats. So how you would like to do it is you want to get specialization on all four of these pieces. And then on your necklace, you'll actually get spec and crit or swiftness. I would suggest swiftness, just makes it a little bit nicer and easier. And you do have a lot of built-in crit from how your build actually works, your gear set, and your engravings that we'll get to in a minute. So go full specialization with swiftness or crit as your other one on your necklace. Up to you, personal preference. I like swiftness. So, next thing let's talk about is engravings. Now, these are the two, what do you call them? Mandatory engravings that you will need at tier 3. All out attack and ignition. You can't, anything less than that, you're going to be like severely lacking, so to say. But yeah, all out attack. Ignition would be number 1, all out attack number 2, because obviously without igniter, then you're not an Ignition Sorc, you're just a mage, pretty much. So yeah, igniter level 3, that's a must. And then all out attack level 3. The next one, and then after that I actually need to work on this myself. I know it's pretty bad, but I have really bad luck with accessories. I'm getting like nothing from accessories right now, only my ignition from them, and then I actually get my all-out attack from books. I need to go get a better stone. But yeah, for this is what you want to work on for starters. And then what you actually want to build towards would be Hitmaster and Precise Dagger as your next two. And as well, Grudge, or what was the last one? Grudge or Cursed Doll, that was Cursed Doll. So if you can get any one of those after you've got all out attack ignition, I would personally go for Grudge afterwards, because I like the flat damage. But Grudge does have the, you take 20% more damage as well, so you do have to be careful of that. So if you want a little bit something easier to learn, I would suggest using Hitmaster first, and then maybe Precise Dagger. So Hitmaster, Precise Dagger, Cursed Doll, Grudge. But if you go over to the MaxRoll guide, we'll have them all linked down there for you guys. You see over there, all out attack, Hitmaster, Grudge, and Cursed Doll. Or you could have a mix up with Precise Dagger. Obviously, I would suggest these three initially: Igniter, all out attack, and then Hitmaster, because that actually doesn't have any negatives, so to say. And then either Precise Dagger, Grudge, or Hitmaster. So that's enough about engravings. And then let's move on to the actual gear set. You'll be getting the solar set from Argos, which actually gives you the crit rate 3%, stacking up to five times. So that's when you work on. That's actually going to give you 25% crit right there. It's quite a bit of crit. And then obviously on top of your ignition, once you actually go into your igniter, you do get a lot of crit there as well. And crit damage, crit rate 25%, and crit damage 50%. So along with the set bonus from Argos, you're getting 50% crit chance alone just from going into your what do you call it, Arcane Rupture. So now let's talk about your skills. Bring up your skill menu. Blaze, this is our synergy skill. That's how we actually get more damage and make the group do more damage as well, because on hit damage first all from party members increased by 6%. All damage from everybody. So everybody in the party, anything that hits this boss whenever it has the debuff on it will be 6% more damage, including yourself as well, obviously. This does last for 8 seconds. The skill has a 10-second cooldown. But then we do use Charge Flame as our next tripod, which actually gives us 2 stacks of the skill. So theoretically, you can always have this. There's never going to be any downtime on this buff. Really huge. You want to use that all the time. Keep that buff up all the time, or especially when you're using your skills. So you want to essentially start that out before you do anything else, because it will put up your buff. And then as well, Frost Core, we're using that. Level 10 with Enlightenment, Unstable Rule, and Enhanced Strike. This is no, you just place it down like that, and then it just charges up a little bit and it explodes. This is one of the main ways that you build up your specialty meter gain with Enlightenment, and also you do want a proper ruin on there. I'll show you guys some ruins as well soon. We'll move on. So that you just place there for specialty meter gain and some free damage, obviously. And then over here with Inferno, this is up to you what you want to use on Inferno. You could use Horrific Veil or Squall. I would say that one's about my least favorite. But Squall is your only counter on a sorceress. So if you do want to have a counter in your group, I mean, everybody else should have a counter theoretically. But if you need to start counting yourself, or if you run with a lot of randoms and they don't have a counter, you want to grab yourself Squall. And yeah, get that. That's your counter. I myself, I like to run Inferno just for the extra damage with Rift Acceleration. And then once I do get this to level 7, I'll actually put Weak Point Detection. Yeah, I can only go higher now because I'm in the training zone, but I don't have enough skill points just yet to get it to level 7. But anyway, Weak Point Detection will be the next one, because push immune foes is obviously bosses and stuff like that. Moving on, we have Punishing Strike at level 10 with Mind Enhancement, Electric Discharge, and Magic Amplification. This is one of your biggest hitting skills, so you want to get that up to level 10. Rock with those triports for increased damage. And yeah, that's that one. Pretty easy. Has a cast time. It's hard. Use it. Point Esoteric Reaction. So this we're using with Quick Prep, Enhanced Strike, and Stabilized Crystal. This is really, again, just a place you click it down, same as Frost Call. It just charges up and explodes after a little bit, doing quite a bit of damage, and also just helping you build up your specialty meter. Moving on, we do have Rhyme Arrow with Enlightenment, Piercing Strike, and Ice Pick. This skill actually does quite a bit of damage. It does have a weird little cone how you're going to aim it, and then also does actually put you into a little animation lock that we'll talk about in a second. So that's that one over there. Rhyme Point, level 10. All those skills, we went through that. Use that as well to build up your meter. It has a little bit of stagger on it as well. It has pretty medium stagger, I believe. Stagger, yeah, stagger mid. And then moving on, we do have Explosion. Another one of our really hard hitters. Ignite, Weak Point Detection, and Magic Amplification. Just a really big hit. You do have to aim it, and it has the travel time as well, so you got to make sure you don't miss that one. And then last but not least, we have Doomsday. Our bread and butter, the big skill that just destroys everything. We're using it level 10 with Mind Enhancement, Asteroid, and Magic Amplification. This is one of our most important skills, so I would actually say the most important skill to hit. And most of the time you want to try and get this under an Arcane Rupture, but obviously there will be quite a few times where you cannot get it under Arcane Rupture. But that is your biggest hitting skill. So that's all the skills. And then my ruins over here, my ruins are actually not what they should be. So I'm going to leave you, let's go over to the MaxRoll guide over here, and I'll show you guys the actual proper ruins that you're meant to have. Because I still need to work on this. So on Blaze, you want to get either Bleed or Quick Recharge. I myself don't have Bleed yet, so I'm working with Quick Recharge. And then we will need a lot of Wealth ruins as well, because Wealth helps us build up our specialty meter. So on Frost Call, already building up specialty meter, you want Wealth to boost it even more. Esoteric Reaction, you can either go Gale One, or you can just cast Speed. I myself would go Wealth on there, just go Wealth everywhere that you can. So Esoteric Reaction, Wealth, Rhyme Arrow, Wealth, Doomsday with Gale Wind, Explosion, Gale Wind, and Punishing Strike, Gale Wind. All three of those Gale Wind, because they are our only casting skills, they do take a long time, so you want to boost up the speed as much as you can. And then Rage on Squall. This is your free to use whatever you want over there. So I think I have this, yeah, I do have Rage on this as well, but my own obviously being Inferno. So those are the ruins that you want to aim for as well. So Bleed, a lot of Wealth ruins, and then Gale Wind. I have a lot of Gale Winds, but I don't really have any Wealth ruins yet. I just need to work on that myself. So that's your skills, your ruins, your engravings, and then gems. Gems are actually pretty important part too. We come on over here. We want the attack gem for Doomsday, Explosion, Divine Punishment, Rain of Frost, Elemental Fusion, and Ice Arrow. For those, you want pure damage gems as much as you can get, as high as you can get them, I should say. And then cooldown, you want the same pretty much. Ice Arrow, this is the priority from the top to the bottom, is the ones that you want with them. So attack gems, you want to try and get Doomsday most importantly. So those are your gems. I still need to work on my gems as well. Obviously I do have the 2 Doomsday ones, because those are being the most important. Going to level them up a bit more. But that's all there really is to Sorc. But let us go through a little quick rotation now for you guys. So you do have your auto attack. The first thing I want to do is apply my blaze debuff, right? And then I just cycle through my instant cast. You will be moving around your encounter. And then you apply this one just to build up your specialty meter gauge. The auto attack if you think there's a kind of mechanics and stuff. And then explosion and doomsday, your big hitters. Obviously you want to make sure that your blaze buff is up. What happens there is you can cast your doomsday. And while doomsday is falling down, you can actually hit blaze and will hit the target way before doomsday ever hits it. But now, so you just cycle through your skills like that really until you build up your specialty meter gauge. And now let me show you guys what you actually do once your specialty meter gauge gets filled up. So we go here to recover resources. How you want to potentially do that with reset cooldowns is you don't want to hit rupture first and then do your rotation. What you want to do is you want to cast doomsday, and then as it starts falling down, then you actually hit your blaze and then you hit your arcane rupture. Because by doing that, you'll delay your arcane rupture enough that your doomsday will be affected by it twice. You'll get 2 doomsdays in 1 rupture. Because the game does not snapshot, what it does is it's very proactive. So if my doomsday is falling and I hit the buff as soon as before doomsday hits, my doomsday will actually be affected by the buff. So let me show you guys what I mean. So we'll cast doomsday, we'll hit our blaze and then arcane rupture. Now we hit the rest of our skills. Obviously you do want to make sure to hit your 3 big hitting skills. That'll be explosion with your big lightning strike, all of those up during your rupture. So we do have another rupture for another doomsday, and both of our doomsdays hit under a full rupture charge. So that is how you want to essentially do it in your rupture. You cast your doomsday first, then you hit your blaze, and then you hit arcane rupture. Try and do that fast. If your ping is really higher than mine, my ping is pretty high, so if yours is higher than that, I feel bad for you. But what you could do then is you could remove the blaze cast. What you do is hit your doomsday and then hit a rupture and then hit your blaze, but it will make your second doomsday. You'll get the increased speed from the casting, so it'll be really fast cast, but when the dooms actually hit, you won't have the buff. You will miss it because of the blade. But try and weave that in, and that's how you actually do that most efficiently. And then another thing I want to talk about is animation lock. So Rhyme, Arrow, Explosion, Doomsday, and Punishing Strike all have a little mini animation lock. But what you can do is you can cancel them with each other, or you can actually cancel them with your spacebar, your teleport. Let me show you what I mean by Rhyme, Arrow. So do that, and then see I've already teleported away and still goes off. But if I actually reset cooldowns, we do that again. See how long it takes me before I can actually move. So it's quite a while. And you can actually cast them like that, and then you've got to wait for it. You got to get used to it a little bit. It takes a little bit of practice, and then actually get them all so you don't get the long animation lock attached to them. So there's that little thing for min-maxing, animation lock. Do your arcane ruptures correctly, and other than that, just build up gauge, run around, dodge abilities. And in a last case scenario, if you're gonna die, like if it's a really bad thing, you could use your blink. But try not to use your blink. Like, don't get used to it, don't get spoiled by it. If the boss is low, you think you're gonna make it, if it will save you, then go for it. But yeah, because you know what they say, a dead DPS is a bad DPS. So if you can stay alive, obviously you're gonna do more DPS by losing your rupture because you will be alive. But yeah, just think about it, don't get spoiled by it. It is there for an emergency, but save it for an emergency. Anyway, that's been a pretty lengthy one. And that's all I know about Sorc, and I hope this guide helps you guys. If it does, please drop a like and a comment down below. And please hit that subscribe button for my upcoming Lost Ark videos. I really appreciate all the help from you guys, and I hope this one helped. I'll catch you in the next one. Okie saying out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying.